So, hi, welcome to this another session of Assam History. Aru ami joabar ki cover korislo Ahom History cover kori asilo hoy nai etia loike. And we are here today will be part 6 karon ami part 5 loke korilu and Ahom History is so vast we cannot cover it in a day. So joabar ami tumar Oton Burhagohai loke korilu. Okay, what happened to Oton Burhagohai? What happened to Guwahati? Who is Lachit Borphukan? Ki korile tekhete Azam Tara kun hoy. So we discussed regarding all this in our previous video. So go ahead, take a look at the previous video and tar pisot baki incidents bur ki hoy ami aji ei video to ami continue koru. Okay, so aji etu video swa tumi finally ki hol tumar Oton Burhagohai was arrested and then he was killed, isn't it? And after he was killed, এতিয়া Oton Burhagohai টাইমৰ লকে আমি দেখিছো কি এটা মানে লবিজ ফৰ্ম হৈছে আহোম কোৰ্টত জাস্ট লাইক দেবৰা হেতি যি কৰিছে যোনটো পলিটিক্যাল ইনস্টেবিলিটি চলি আছিল Oton Burhagohai টাইমতো আছিল মানে তেতিয়ালকে বস্তুটো বৰ ভালকে ঠিক হোৱা নাছিল and what Debera was doing কি তোমাৰ এই হে টাইমত কি চলিছে তোমাৰ ডিফেক্টো ডি জুৰে ৰুলাৰ এই বস্তুটো চলি আছিল হয় না Oton Burhagohai টাইমতো সেম হৈছিল when Oton Burhagohai came into power. He also installed his own preferred king. Tekhetor nijor mote junjon raja tekhete bhal pae. Etu hisabe tekhete install kori diye. Okay, and simultaneously epine ki choli asle hitu side ki tumar Lachit kar logot he teamed up with whom Azam Tara and they had a deal that Guwahati will be given to whom, to the Mughals in lieu of Lachit getting the power. All right. So etia swa hoy gol Guwahati gusi gol tumar finally ahile tumar Mughal army ahile with the help of Lachit and in the year 1679 finally Guwahati was again occupied by the Mughals. Now etia swa Lachit's brother who fought so bravely imman besi kosto kori meli horai ghator juddhokhon jikile against the Mughals. His own brother did this. His own brother again gave Guwahati away to the Mughals. Okay. All right. So finally, ki hoy gol etia eneke ahile lole tumar Oton Burhagohai execute korile. They executed Oton Burhagohai. Oton Burhagohai died, and even Oton Burhagohai's sons were also arrested and executed. So again, Lachit came into power. He became all in all now. So Lachit ki korile etia just like his previous agor jeneke tekhetlukor he Oton Burhagohai ati nije jeneke raja nijor mote patisile Lachit also installed a 14-year-old prince. Okay, a 14-year-old prince or naam ki asile Sulikfa asile kintu ami because he is such a small young guy june etia tumar 10 years ote ase. He had this nickname as Lora Raja. Okay, Lora Raja boli tekhetok jana goisile because he was very young, 14 years. Imagine what would he know about the governance? Ki janibo nu keneke govern koribo lage, administer keneke koribo lage. He will not know anything about it, isn't it? So all in all, mane entire power kar hatot thakibo. It will rest in the hands of whom? Lachit. So now Lachit will be able to do whatever he wants to do, however he wants to rule and run the kingdom. So hetu bostu henokai hol. Okay, so Lachit kak anile Sulikfa anile and he was from which clan? Samuguriya clan. Okay, Samuguri clan. Now Ahom hokolor again bahut kita clans asile, for example Dihingia clan, Tungthungia clan, Samuguri clan enokot Ahom hokolor asile. Okay, so tare majore tumar Sulikfa hoy gol kuntu clan or Samuguri clan. All right. Now we go back to finally tumar Sulikfa raja hoy gol and jodi Sulikfa raja hoy jay ami tekhetok ki boli kom etia he becomes the de jure ruler and Lachit Borphukan becomes what? The de facto ruler. Why? Etu namot he raja hobo because the power only for the namesake Sulikfa will have all the power and all, but all of the execution and everything will be done by whom? Lachit. Isn't it? Lachit jeneke kobo ji advice dibo Sulikfa heneke huni jabo hoy nai. He'll only be now Lora Raja will only be a rubber stamp, isn't it? A puppet king. Okay, so etia ami sao ki it was in the etia Laluk Sula hete they came up with one thing that you know what we are they introduced this rule ki jiman Ahom next jundu Ahom Raja hobo they are not supposed to have any part of the body missing. Okay, mane complete hobo lagibo manujan. So if there is someone jar olop nak to kota kan khon kota ba chicken pox or kiba dag ase then that person cannot be the king. So they came up with that. Okay, aru hetu mane eta notun ke eneke bostu eta banai dile. So now what happened junbur eligible prince asile no raja hobole junbur prince asile Laluk Sula what did he do এই লৰা ৰজাৰ অৰ্ডাৰ আছে বুলি কৈ মিলি সবকে জোতে পায় যাকে পায় মানে হয়তো কান কাটি দিব হয়তো নাক কাটি দিব নহলে তোমাৰ চকু ফুটাই দিব কিবা নহয় they would maim that person. Okay, মেইম কৰি দিব মানে গুটেই তোমাৰ এই কিবা নহয় কিবা কৰিব হয়তো কাবাক কমপ্লিটলি মাৰিয়ে পেলাই এনেকাও কৰে. And finally জিমান প্ৰিন্স আছিল য'ত যেনেকে জাক পাইছে মানে from one way or the other they started what mutilating those princes. Okay, আৰু তাৰ মাজতে মানে এটা এজন এনেকুৱা প্ৰিন্স আছিল যাক মানে তেখেতলোকে ধৰিব পৰা নাছিলে. He escaped. They could not catch hold of that prince. And that prince is whom? Gadapani. Okay. So etia swa finally any eta extra information aru Laluk Sulai mane bostutu aru enoka ki korisile ki nijor swali jonir biya lora raja logot pati dise. Just so that you know lora raja listens to him more. Okay. So after that what happened? So a custom to jeneke banale to a জোৰ জোৰ পৰা এনেকে যায় গৈ পিনে যিমান প্ৰিন্স পায় গৈ মেলি সেই প্ৰিন্স বিলাকক মিউটিলেট কৰি দিয়ে বা মাৰিয়ে পেলাই এনেকুৱা কৰি দিয়ে কিন্তু গদাপানীক মানে ধৰিব পৰা নাছিলে এণ্ড গদাপানী was someone যোন দেখিলেই মানে তোমালোকে কবা কি ৰজা কাৰণ মানুহজন ইমান ওখ পাখ আছিলে ইমান পুষ্ট আছিলে মানে বহুত ডাঙৰ আছিলে he was তোমাৰ এডৱাৰ্ড গেটে লিখিছিলে কি you know he had a big appetite বহুত খাবও পাৰিছিলে তেখেতে. Okay, the other thing about Gadapani is that he was from which clan? Tumphungya clan. Tekhet asle tumar Tumphungya clan. Olop agote ami koisu na Samoguri clan, Tumphungya clan. So ei henokwai tumar ek Tumphungya clan or asle and he was the son of whom? He was the son of Gubor Raja. Now Gubor Raja বেছি দিনৰ কাৰণে ৰজা বনিব নোৱাৰিছিলে তোমালোকে চাবা previous যোনটো video আছে তাত আছে he became the king only for 24 days. Become the king. Again, he was also one of the victims of the de jure de facto ruler, a political instability. Okay, and Gubor Raja, junru mane Raja jiman enike hobo nwarile, his son, you know, became that king, and he became one of the most powerful king of the Ahom king. Gadapani. Aru ei Gadapani ei time ot imane beya, mane imane tumar political instability. ইমান বেয়াকে চলি আছিল ইমান বেছি হৈ আছিল যদি কোনোবা পাওয়াৰফুল কিং আহা নাহিলে হেতেন লাইক গদাপানী ইস্যুটো কেতিয়াও সলভে নহল হেতেন the issue would have never been sorted you know it was Gadapani who kind of cleaned the system he cleaned the system entirely he made sure that ako a de jure de facto ruler নহব বা he made sure ki tumar a corruption junbur চলি আছিল হেবুৰ নহয় lobbies form নহয়. Okay, but kunubai eneke junbur spy asile agor hebur jate nohoy he made sure he kind of straightened the system for his sons. Okay, whoever came later after Gadapani. So etia swa ki Gadapani jetia ahile bahut kini bostu incidents enaka events hoi gol juntu ami pohim. Okay, but for now let's see ki etia ki hol janane Kumar Laluk Sula and Sulikfa logot. It was not only the Ahom princes who were angry with them or who had resentment towards them. Also, even the nobilities and the ministers, they started having bahut basic khong. Okay, they started having resentment towards these two. Okay, Laluk Sula and whom? Lora Raja. Now, so they kind of conspired and all, and hey, conspiracy and solile merile, and they killed Laluk Sula marile. Laluk Sula was assassinated. Okay, Laluk Sula was assassinated, And in the meantime, Koliaborot, tumar junbur nobles and ministers hoy no, tekhetloke mane eta meeting patile. And they were like, Lora Raja is incapable, he cannot rule the kingdom. So, ami ek kam koru, ami Godapanik Raja declare kori diu. Okay, so finally in Koliabor ki hol tate, tumar ministers blake etu decide korile ki etia ami Godapanike Raja hisabe declare korim. Aru etu, and on the other hand, Godapaniu mane nijor army eneke organize kori asiliu. So nobles thought we will help Godapani. Okay, it will be better if we start helping Godapani and make him the king. So they declared Godapani as the king, and finally Godapani ahile, ahimeli August. Kiman 1681 tumar he came, he dethroned Sulikfa and he killed Sulikfa. That is Lora Raja. Lora Raja mari mili, finally he became the king of the Ahom kingdom. Okay, so that is the story of Godapani. Of his journey, not story, but his journey of how he became the king. Now, in the meantime, let us also learn a little bit of Joymati. Because Joymati is also another great character that has a lot of importance and significance for our Assam history, isn't it? Not just Assam history, even now, she is a symbol of what? Courage, strength, and bravery, isn't it? Ami Joymati Dibok patu, hoy ne? So try and see kuntu date hoy jetia ami Joymati Dibok patu. Okay. So now we see about Joymati. Eta ki hoy gol? Tumar jetia Laluk Sula hete Godapanik bisari asile because they couldn't find Godapani where he is. So what did they do? They brought up his wife, Joymati. Joymati question koribole anile in the Ahom court. Jetia anile, Joymati did not utter a word about her husband. He refused to speak. And because she refused to speak, he had to go through a numerous level of punishments and tortures, Dekhetok ki korile? Eneke for days, she was tied up to a tree, bitten, mane marile dekhetok bahut besi. Okay, she was beaten, she was tortured, and finally, he dies. Okay, even though she dies, he did not utter a single word. Itiao nokole Godapani kot lukai ase, ba Godapani kot ase, got his whereabouts. Okay, so that's the reason why we Joymati for us, he is what? He is a symbol of bravery and courage, isn't it? Yeah. So finally, she was tortured for several days at a go. Nai khana, nai kiba, without food or water or anything, and finally she gives up. Now Joymati has, with Godapani logot, Joymati had two sons. Okay, Lai aru Lesai. Okay, so etia tumalke saba ki jetia Godapani Raja hoisile, Godapani time to prai bhag tumar juntu Ahom kingdom hoy no, hetu sofa korote time to prai bhag gol. Junbur corruption choli asile, junbur lobbies form hoy asile, ei bostubur Godapani thik korile. And Godapani did it so efficiently. Had it been some other king who jodi Godapanir nisna kunuba enoka powerful Raja nohol heten, ei bostutu thik koribo noarile heten. Ahom kingdom, would have met its end if Godapani wasn't there. But Godapani, he came out to be a very strong, powerful ruler. He did things, kisuman enoka bahut severe punishments o disile. And he also has done certain things that kind of scared people. Okay, but then it was quite necessary to kind of clean up the system. So, but when his sons came into power, not his sons, sorry, when his son Rudra. Now, etia ki hoy gol Lai aru Lesai Raja hobo noarile, Lai hol Rudra Hingha. Rudra Hingha time out we'll see a very, prosperous Ahom kingdom. And Rudra Hingha ejon enoka Raja asile, june sob dimensions. In all the dimensions, he worked on all the dimensions, not just one. Tumar political side of tumalake swa, you'll see there's a lot of contribution, social, religious, cultural, sob pinapra Rudra Hingha tumar contribution bahut besi hoy mane. It's a lot of immense contribution that Rudra Hingha has given us to Assam. And anyways, we'll read about Rudra Hingha later, but know that finally Godapani comes into power. And Godapani makes a lot of changes. Now, etia swa Godapani agote to tekhetor naam Godapani asile, kintu jetia tekhet Raja hoy gol, So what did he assume the name? তেখেতে এটা হিন্দু নাম ললে, নামটো কি হয়? Gadadhar Singha. Okay, he took the Hindu name Gadadhar Singha, and his Ahom name কি আছিল? তেখেতৰ Ahom নামটো হয় তোমাৰ Supatfa. Okay, Supatfa. তেখেতৰ Ahom নামটো কি হয়? Supatfa. So Gadapani, Gadadhar and Supatfa, they are the same person. Okay, so understand ki tumalokok jodi kiba question hode Supatfar kotha hode Gadadhar kotha hode ba Gadapani, understand they're talking about the same person. All right, then tekhete ki korile, he made his capital where? Borkola. Borkola kot ase? Near Gorgaon, quite close to Gorgaon. Okay, and he came from which clan? He came from the Tungkhungya clan. Etia pray bhag eta swa Gadapanir pisot kun hobo? Tekhetor lora hobo. Rudrohinghor pisot kun hobo? Rudrohinghor lora hobo. So to ami later Ahom kings junbur sang pray bhag tekhetluk Tungkhungya clan ore asile. Pray bhag. Okay, kisuman majote olop changes hoy, kintu tar pisot ako ami sam ki pray bhag tekhetluk Tungkhungya clan ore prince hoy. All right. Okay, so now Gadapani ki bhabile, the first thing that Gadapani did, he see, if we need to safeguard Ahom kingdom, the first thing that we need to do is what? To get back Guwahati. Laluk Sulai juntu kaam korile. Okay, so he wanted to make sure that something like this never happens. And Gadapani was like, ami jodi, we need to do, the first thing that we need to do is get Guwahati back. We need to safeguard our kingdom further. So what Gadapani did? Etia swa tumar Horaighator juntu juddho hoy, ami pray Horaighator juddho, we see it as the last and the final. Now context different hoy. Etia swa pray bhag agor juntu Horaighator agor juntu juddho hoisile, tat tumalke dekhiba ki Mughals e attack korisile. Okay, it was the Mughals who used to attack whom? The Ahoms, isn't it? Horaighat hok tumar এই juntu alaboy hoy ba ji hoy, pray bhag tumi he context tumalke heneke saba. But then now it's a little different. Itakhuli juntu battle of Itakhuli hoy, the context is different now. This time the Ahoms attacked the Mughals. Okay, so etia swa ebar ki hoy jay tumar Ahoms e Mughals attack kore, and finally Guwahati was brought back to the Ahoms. Okay, so Guwahati was occupied by the Ahoms again. Etia ami sao ki swa. So the first thing what did he do? That he had to get back what? Guwahati, and hence in Iman he marched and he fought. Tumar in 1682 he juddho hoisile tumar battle of Itakhuli. Itakhuli kun ase, kun pine ase amar etia North Guwahati. Okay, so finally again the Mohammedans, that means the Mughals, they were defeated, and Guwahati was recaptured by the Ahoms. Okay, so that's a very, very big thing regarding, you see, that's quite, I would say, ki Gadapani mane juntu, again, it's also one of the greatest contribution of Gadapani, isn't it, for us, getting Guwahati back. Okay, so tar pisot aru ki hoy gol tumar Gadapani mane kisuman, you see what happened when Gadapani mane exile asile. Okay, so when Gadapani was running away from Laluk Sula, at that time mane ki hol Gadapani mane kisuman hotro usole gol, hotradhikar usole gol, hotro eneke gol, and he was like, I need help, I need your help, I need help because I need to hide or save myself from this king. But enoka hotradhikar asile june kole ki nai, we don't want to be a part of it. It's a political issue, itu tumalokor issue hoy, amar to hotro ami, we are more into this religion and all, aru ami karu sides lobole bisara nai. Okay, they did not help Gadapani, and Gadapani remembered that. Gadapani was like, moi raja hoy lo, and then moi sai lo. So when he became the king, after kisuman bostu, he kept it in mind, that he is going to do that. So what he did, Guwahati lole, first tick mark dile. Now he comes, what he does is that he comes after the hotros, the hotradhikar. Eta kotha jani thwa ki Gadapani no ebu hokto dharma ba ebu iman bissak kora nasile. He was not into all this much, but he did it because of his olop mane manujon mane revengeful hoy goisile. during his time. Revengeful hoisile aru he saw that the Hotras had quite a lot of power, but bahut khini manu mane Hotra join kori lole. Popularity to bahut beshi hoi goisile Hotra blakor. So he karone mane bostu to neutralize koribole Gadapani started encouraging a Shaktism in the kingdom. Okay, so now there were two Hotradhikar that Gadapani actually he went after this two. Ejon asle Ram Bapu tumar Dokhin Pat Hotra. Ram Bapu asle tumar Dokhin Pat Hotra. Okay, aru ejon asle tumar Oniati Hotrot asle tumar Keshavdev. Ram Bapu asle tumar Dokhin Pat aru Keshavdev asle tumar Oniati. Okay, so etia kotha tu ki hol Ram Bapu Gadapaniye dhorile thori meli manujonok torture korile kan kati dile nak kati dile toku futai dile. Okay, that was done to Ram Bapu. And tumar junjon Oniati Hotra asle tumar Keshavdev polai gol. Keshavdevok dhoribo nowarile. Okay, and baki aru ki korile Gadapaniye junbu Hotrot mane bahut khini enoka dekhile ki bahut manu Hotrot humai ase dekhon. Keuria Bhokot junbur mane Bhokot asile kam sam mane pike system apa polabole gom pale ki bahut khini enoka Bhokot asile jone pike system opra mane polabole they used to join all these Hotros. Okay, and Gadapani was not happy with it, and dekhile ki Hotra blakor influence iman beshi aru enoka jodi influence bahi goi thake tene hole to manu blake rojar kotha nemaniboi. So he started prosecuting them. Okay, so keulia Bhokot blakok dhoribo dhori ani pini mane tom menial kambur koruai ba rasta constructionor kam korai mane constructionor kam korai dibo kiba dolong bonuai dibo mane kiba he menial kambur koribole dibo. Okay, aru heneke etu koa jai ki Dhudor Ali etu time ote mane eibur incident related e hoy Bhokot hokolok mane eneke keulia Bhokot bur fake Bhokot bahut khini Gadapani recognize korisile tekhet lukor prai ei Dhudor Ali bonoise. Okay, aru tumar baki aru ki korisile Gadapaniye ki ei persecution to korisile tumar bahut khini aru ki korile Gadapani saba junbur spies asle no during the time ei Guwahati jete issue to hoy asile, isn't it? So in the sense like not spies but actually the ones who betrayed the Ahom king during the time ei tumar Laluk Sular time or juntu Guwahati bahut khindo Laluk Sular party hoy goisile na hoy nai. So heibur manuhok mane spies ani pine eneke mane eta ki thio korale kun asile kunba spy eta spy kole ki e asile. So he manublakok anile ani pine bahut torturous ways of marile. They become an example that next time not to betray the royal king, mar Ahom Raja bilakok. In fact, Gadapani enoka loke punishment disile. He used to kind of gorom telot manubur eneke dhali die mane fry kori die manublak. He used to do that. And the other thing also he used to do that ki deutakok putekor mangkho khwai die putekok mari meli. So that was the extent of Gadapani. But the thing is that see Ahom kingdom imane beshi titia beale goisile ki some of the things that he did actually helped Ahom kingdom to ako mane agor nista stable hobole mane help korile, even though it was extremely inhuman, isn't it? Aru etia baki swa tumar Hotradhikar junbur asile Hotror manublake mas mangkho nekhai to Gadapaniye ki kore joborjosti mas mangkho khwai die forcefully. So eibur kamo korisile. So that way ako mane ki hoy gol tumar juntu power struggle eta asile no between ministers and the king ei power struggle to nuhwa hoy gol. To manuhe etia ako roja jonoke manibo thorile. Okay, so karon agote ki hoise ei de facto de jure ruler eibur issue eta choli asile no hoyne. So etia eibur nai. Now the people see the king as all in all. So he is going to have certain ministers advice dibo, no doubt, but the final say will now be of the kings. Okay, so Gadapaniye mane ebur kam tumar kori thoi gol. Okay, so etia ami ki sao tekhete aru ki banale swa Umananda temple to banale. Now again, like I said, Gadapani was not a believer of Shaktism. Ebur tekhetor iman interest eneke nasile, but to keep what? To keep Vaishnavism in check. Neo Vaishnavism to Hotradhikar, Hotrobur imane besi power ahi goisile. To keep that in check, he started encouraging people to mane baki junbur mohons asile, priests asile, bhakta dharma jone follow korisile, he started encouraging them. Okay, so he karone mane jate bostu neutralize hoi thake. Etia what did he do? He was a patron of Shaktism boli koy, and he built Umananda temple where? In Guwahati. Umananda temple ase nohoy gom poa tumalake bahut hokole sage goisao tumalake. So Umananda temple kune banaisile etia? Gadapaniye banaisile. Ako moi ki kolu Dhudor Ali kune banaisile? Gadapaniye banaisile. Okay, and there's also one thing that he did. After becoming the king, he started land survey start korisil. Now land survey tekhete nije iman parile korile, kintu he could not complete that. It was completed by his son. So what happened? He land survey korile where? In Sitsagar, but he died before completing the survey. So Rudra Singha mane his son Lai ki korile pisot nije goi detakor jiman ji thaki goisile land survey koribole hekhini tekhete nije sa. Okay, he asile, he finally completed the land survey. All right. So etia swa tumar Gadapani dhukale manujon bahut khini bostu kinu tekhete thik kori thoi gol. Junbur nobles blakor junbur power asile nohoy he power to bhangi thoi gol. Junbur tumar ei Ahom court or junbur system iman corrupted hoi asile hebur straighten kori thoi gol, sidha kori thoi gol, isn't it? Aru baki the other thing that he saw that hotro blako iman besi powerful hoi goise ki enoka hoi goise ki hotro blako bhitor to mane hierarchy system choli ase. Jeneke Ahomor kingdom jeneke hierarchy enaka system chole. Hotro blako to henoka hoi ase. That is like a state within a state nisna hoi goise. Okay, so if you see, this is the Ahom kingdom, aru Ahom kingdom bhitor aru eta kingdom hoi goise nisna. Ebur hotro eta kingdom or bhitor aru eta kingdom. So hebur bostu tekhete thik korile. So he did a lot of junbur enoka kam korile juntu bostue mane pisoloke etia junbur roja ahibo he roja bilakor karone governing ba administer koribole olop easy hoi jay. A political instability to ami yate dhori lo ki etia khatam hoi gol with Gadapani coming taking the throne. We finally take it as juntu Ahom kingdom or juntu tumar political instability soli asile, that political instability finally comes to an. So Gadapani enoka manu asile tumi swa ki bahut besi efficient asile. Okay, no doubt he had little bit of villainous side to him also, isn't it? That we see that kisman bostu bahut cruel as korisile hoy nai. For example, manu blakok eneke dhori meli telot fry kori dia ba deutakok putekor eneke mangkho khwai dia. Hebur kam that's very very inhuman and cruel, isn't it? But it somehow cleaned and straightened the system. Instability to khatam kori dile. The power that the Ahom kings needed to rule, it was brought back. The power was brought back by whom? By Gadapani. Itakuli battle jikile. Kiman dangor ta contribution tumi bhaba. Guwahati was recaptured by the Ahoms. It was brought back to the Ahom king. So ebur bostu ami eneke jodi sao, we come to know that Gadapani was iman mane was one of the most powerful king we see. Now Gadapani pisot Gadapani kintu eta kotha nijor lorak koi thoi gol ki not to trust certain people, 3 types of people, he said. Rudra Singha koi thoi gol. Rudra Singha etialake Lai hisabe ami jano, Lai aru Lesai. Okay, Lesai is a younger one and Lai is the older one. Now etu koi thoi gol ki tumi tinda dhoronor manu bisakh. Okay, prothom asile june mane tinta enaka tilak logai hetu manhok eneke bisakh nokoriba boli kole putekok. So later actually ami etu eta bostu ami gom pao ki Gadapani kind of realized kisman kotha ki tumar jundur hotra ba hotradhikarar logot juji lav nai. It is only going to bring further instability because people had a lot of faith on the hotras, সত্ৰাধিকাৰ নিজৰ গুৰু হিচাপে চাইছিলে নহয় মানুহবিলাক মানে ফোৰ্সফুলি বাই ফোৰ্স একো কাম হেনেকে কৰিব নোৱাৰি if they persecute the hotra or the hotraadhikars heneke bostubur aru beya lehe jabo to ami he bostutu he regret tu ami ei sentence tute ami gom pao goda pani okay to tekhete aru eta kotha koisle ki junbur eneke nas gan ebu nase mele ebu court of royal court ebur manhoko bissak koribole mana kori thogise okay and the third kind is that kunu kwa goisile tekhete koisile ki junu horu manu hoy horu manu blakok mane dangor post nidibole okay but dangor officer kiba enaka post heneke nidibole koi gisile ebur tinta kotha rudra hinghok jotake Gadadhar hinghoy koi thoi jo all right so etu bostu e sao ki ei junbur internal disputes hoy asile ebur junbur lobbies build hoy asile ebur bostu tumar goda paniye test koi thoi gisile khatam koi thoi gisile okay and he completely it was a new what I would say it was a new beginning for the Ahom kingdom again iman tumar beya obosthale juntu Ahom kingdom goisile finally Ahom kingdom again rises back and this time they would rise back with whom with Rudra Hingha and Rudra Hingha kotha ami jimane ko nohoy bahut mane it will be less trust me he is not just one of the kings of the Ahom king hisabe tekhete great nohoy that he is not just one of the greatest Ahom king but I would say he is one of the greatest king in the Indian history for his contributions that he made okay so tekhete bahut kini contribution korise aru tekhete bahut kini niyomo change kori disile junbur inhibitions asile nohoy agor raja bilakor ba junbur jenokwa tumar enokwa eta asile ki baki kingdoms bilakor logot iman milapita nokorisile ba tumar swa baki kingdoms bilakor ki choli ase ki bhal choli ase ki beya choli ase iman khobor na rakhisile agor raja Ahom raja bilake kintu Rudra Hingha enokwa ase manujan bahut sokhinu asile tumi saba ki bahut kini bostu bhal paise kapur kani and Rudra Hingha nije ejon illiterate asile but he gave a lot of emphasis on education you know kotnu tekhete heneke pohibole pabo tumi nije bhaba ki gute jibon to heneke adha jibon to deutake heneke polai forise makor logot enokwa hol tekhete no kot time pale ba enokwa hubidha pale pohibole but he made sure that the people in his kingdom did get opportunities to study and jodi poao nai Rudra Hingha nije junbur lora asile pohabole bahiyot pothai out of Assam so you see that he was not just a person you know he had a lot of socially hawk politically hawk religious all mane deutake ji korisile hotraadhikar bilakor logot Rudra Hingha tried to change them but then he was not a fool also he was not very emotional also he made sure that everything jimanji hawk in the end of the day it has to be mane for his advantage okay so he was quite a wise capable efficient king I would say so we will learn about him in the next video in the next video series karon aji ami Gadadhar pani ba tekhelukor kotha janilu aru ami next video series Rudra Hingha elaborately ami olop pohim okay so thank you and keep watching bye